Hi everyone, it's Karen and I'm back and I wanted to share my paper dolls that I've been working on. I have never made a paper doll. I used to play with paper dolls when I was young, and I used to love dressing and making dresses for paper dolls. So this whole experience was just a real mix of emotions and memories and was a lot of fun. I used to love making dresses for my Barbies as well, and dressing them, especially in like big fluffy gowns with lots of, bows and lace and things. And my mom always used to sew, and so she always had scraps of fabric and lace and stuff, and she would let me have them. And sometimes she would even sew me like the base of the dress, and then I would do all the embellishing. So yeah, this was a lot of fun and brought back a lot of good memories. So I did a couple of the sort of what I call the 3D type. Big puffy dress, lots of embellishments. This one I would imagine to send to a friend that they would, they would hang it up, maybe in their craft room space. So I'm gonna bring her up so you can see all the details. A digital download that I mounted onto very heavy cardstock, so she's very firm. I had watched a video that someone had done quite some time ago, and they had said about cutting the arms away from the actual digital, or doing like two sets of arms so that their arms weren't just sort of stuck down. So I did cut her arms away. This one is bent and comes up here, and there is a space in here where it's cut away, and then this one comes up and is cut away so that the fabric can go underneath. You can see here one of these flowers is tucked actually on the gown behind her hand, and so you get a nicer effect when you're able to layer your laces and not just go over top their arms, but their arm actually is out. And some of these laces and trims are from AngeldreamCraftsKim on Etsy, and some are from my stash. If you are wanting some of these laces and trims, you might try checking out her shop. I'll leave a link in the description box below, and you can check out what she might have available. I've been working on these for a little while, so some of the laces some she doesn't stock any longer. This pretty lady has some lovely cup chain and a pink shade around her neck, and this pretty little butterfly that I had in my stash, and some pearls in her hair and two little acrylic flowers. I put a satin ribbon attached to her head to hang her up with. This is some pretty tulle lace that Kim had in her shop, AngeldreamCraftsKim, and I just cut pieces of it and I gathered it around the neckline, behind her hand here, and out the side here. Made a little bow with it and attached that with this little acrylic flower and a little piece of that same bling from cup chain bling in the center. Her hands come up here, and I have a collection of flowers in her hands. Behind this little poofy thing here is some flowers from a trim from AngeldreamCraftsKim, and that extends into this beautiful piece that cascades down the side of her dress here. And I added, these are little flowers that I added on top. This is a little piece of that pinkish trim, and I just sort of tied it and hung it there. And another little piece here with these little flowers from another trim, and that cascades down the side of her dress. Up here I made this little poof type thing and added a piece of bling that I've had in my stash for a long time, but it was originally from Kim's shop, and I put that there. And then this gorgeous piece of cream lace here, also cascading down this side of the dress, is a gorgeous piece from AngeldreamCraftsKim. I just love that lace. I've used it in other projects and cut it up. This one I used a nice big piece of it and just cascaded it down that side of her dress. Added in some bows, again made with that tulle that has little polka dots on it, and it's sort of got a gather in it as well. It's really pretty. Added some little acrylic flowers down there. The underskirt is a piece of a vintage curtain, and so that makes up the underskirt. to layer these prettier laces on top. And then underneath that, I did a tulle underskirt to give it some poof. And this just, it happens to have these little sparkly little things on it as well. But I just took pieces, I think I've got 4 pieces there, and they're attached underneath to the base of the cardboard, and then the lace laid over top, and that gives you a lot of poof when you use tulle that way. The back of the dress, I have covered the back of the cardboard there with the same vintage curtain that I used for the base of the skirt. You can see more of that at the back here. And then I layered some pieces of that curtain as well, some extra pieces. I layered them on the back here. There's 2 of them. Then there's some scrappy little bits that I had, that Kim had given me from her shop, and a little bit of lace from her shop, and I added those in the back for trailing little bits. And another one of the little tulle pink bows that I made in the front, I added one in the back as well. And then this beautiful bling I've had in my stash for a while. It's from AngeldreamCraftsKim. She has some of the most beautiful bling. She sells out of her bling so fast. They're so pretty. So that is the first one, and I can hardly fit her on there, guys. She's from top to bottom, she's probably about 12 inches, not counting the hanger. And I just love all the details in her dress and the layers, and she just turned out so pretty, and I'm really pleased with how she turned out, because I've just, like I said, this is my first time. I've seen lots of people make them, and I thought it would be fun, but I just never had done it. And then I had these 2 little girls. They were a free digital download, I think on Amy Love's channel. And I did them both just as flat. A lot of the people are doing paper dolls now to add into journals, and they just do them not 3D like she is, but just flat. And if you keep them flat like this with just some embellishment on top, of course, you could add these in as tuck spots, or just tuck them into a pocket, into a journal. You could put them on a card. So there's different uses for them. So I just gathered some lace on her skirt here, added a little bow, and I made a little collar out of the same lace, added a little flower, put a little satin bow in her hair. And she's on heavy cardstock. And this little one, the same thing. I gathered some lace at the bottom of her dress, did a little bit of the edge of the lace along here, and made a collar out of the lace, added in a little flower, added some little blings on the end of her ties, added in a little bit of lace on the end, on the cuffs of her little sleeves, and a satin bow in her hair as well. And they'll look really cute. I think they'll be really cute on a card for a little girl for her birthday, or for welcoming a little girl into the world, or also tucked in a journal. So those are those 3, and then I have one more, and the final one that I made, I am sending to one of my friends. She's having a challenge on, and she has challenges every month on her channel, and it is Charlotte from Charlotte Peterson. And the challenge this month was to make her anything. And so I thought, I was making these paper dolls anyway, and I had started this one, and the minute I started it, I thought of her. And if you don't want to see it, Charlotte, if you happen to be watching this video, you can look away now, because I'm going to show her, and then I'm going to send her to you. So here is the one I created for Charlotte. Charlotte loves yellow, and I started creating this one, and she just came together, and Charlotte was on my mind the whole time. So she has a beautiful vintage doily that I used for her dress that I bought in a thrift store find. It is a very unusual doily. It has unusual sort of these ladder type pieces in between the way it's made, and then yellow at the bottom and the yellow in the middle. I added some small yellow applique flowers on the bottom as well, on each of those little points. I used a lace from my stash to make her like a cape. Underneath, and here you can see I separated her arm away so that the cape can go under her arm on this side. Underneath is a bit of a yellowy lace with a silver in it that I put on the top of the dress, and I also used that same lace in strips for the underskirt of the dress. And so that lots of layers of that is what gives this dress the poof it has in the skirt. And then I had this beautiful yellow applique, and I really wanted to use it with this project. So I made this gorgeous bouquet that she is carrying, and I just used a little bit of lace in behind and attached all the little pieces on that piece of lace. And I used it had little pearl centers, and I added some little acrylic flowers in there. I cut it all apart and added the leaves here and there. And I added one gorgeous bling from AngeldreamCraftsKim at the top here. And then I put a little string of pearls at her neckline. And I used one of the crowns from AngeldreamCraftsKim for her in her hair. And I just, it comes with like these little rhinestones across the bottom. And so I just carried the rhinestones across to make it look like it's a whole band that's in her hair. And then the crown comes from there. So that's her headpiece. And then if you flip her over, I finished her on the back with that beautiful yellow with the silver. It was a lace, and then here's the back of the cape. And I made a big bow with that same lace that I made the cape out of. I made a great big bow that's on the back of her dress, and I put a beautiful bling heart from AngeldreamCraftsKim in the center there. And then the back of the dress, of course, is that beautiful yellow and white vintage doily. I took that all the way around to the back. Again, the appliques at the back. Added a few little pieces that are hanging down that are the edge of this same trim from up here that made the cape and the bow, and I added those in, and then I added a few more of these little flowers with these little acrylic flowers in the center hanging down from them. So it makes a bit of a fancy back to her dress. And there it is there. And again, a little satin, yellow satin ribbon to hold her up with so that she can be hung up and put on display. So she's going to be in the mail on her way to you, Charlotte. So I hope you like her. And I hope you guys will give a trying some paper dolls, because I just had so much fun. I never realized how much fun they would be. And I will definitely be making more. And I hope you guys are all doing well, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.